or Lowe's should be able to receive project approvals without holding full hearings at City Council before approvals? Do you think that development projects like Regency, Basin Street, Target, or Lowe's should be able to receive project approvals without holding full hearings at City Council before approvals?
Absolutely not. What do you need a city council for? You know, it's the most amazing discussion I've ever seen, because if you were to do this, then what's the recourse and how do you have economic development and a vision for your community? Because it's anything goes. As long as it meets a general plan, which is general by nature and is consistent with the zoning code, therefore you could get all of the development before the traffic relief. And once you get the development, then who's to say there'll be any traffic relief? So you have to have standards. It's about a negotiation. We've talked a lot about economics in this discussion here tonight. How do you achieve an economic vision if it's whatever comes before us, just rubber stamp it and approve it with no public input, no public comment, no public nothing? You're just cut out of the equation. Then I say get rid of the overhead of a city council, because you don't need them. And I think we need a city council to protect you, the existing businesses and the existing residents in this community. Thank you.
Thank you. Tiffany Renee.
If you understand anything when you leave tonight, I really hope that you'll understand this issue. It's probably the most important issue facing Petaluma today. Projects that are consistent with the general plan in a general way, that are consistent with the zoning code, could go to SPARK. SPARK is Site Plan and Architectural Review Committee. It doesn't cover use or how the development occurs. They're limited in terms of the types of conditions of approval they can place on any development. So what ends up happening is when something is going to heavily impact your neighborhood and SPARK didn't address it because it's not in their purview, you have the option to appeal the project to City Council for a fee. Then you take it to City Council, and City Council has to look at the issue. Is this how we want to develop our city? By pitting neighborhoods against development projects over and over and over again, and having the only review done at SPARK. This is not how we develop a community. It's not how we build a community. And you need to understand this when you go to the polls on November 4th. Thank you.
Well, I cannot help but just about agree with everybody else that what everybody's been saying. The realities is SPARK is, in fact, I just answered this question. So if I get another chance at this,
I'm sorry.
going to get another
Yes,
chance
you
at
are.
this. I want to take my extra minute if you're going to give it to me.
Anyways, I was just looking at you as Tiffany was speaking.
I think the question is actually more technical than people may realize, and it turns to a large extent on very arcane issues of California state law and how those interact with some of the documents that we have here, the general plan and the zoning code and so forth. But as a general matter, with respect to design issues, my philosophy has always been to recruit good design people for SPARK and not criticize them even when they put space deflector shields on the Cole Center and things of that nature. But with respect to overall approvals, even if you have something that's consistent with the general plan, even if it's consistent with the zoning, for the major projects, you're typically going to have CEQA issues that are going to require coming either to the Planning Commission or more generally the City Council, and those are the ones where you're going to get the environmental issues, the traffic issues, those kinds of issues, and so I think in most instances those will end up, almost all instances, those will end up at the City Council.